Today, we're making room for your biggest self to show up. Welcome to Talking with Teri TV. I am your host, Teri Cardula, and thank you for joining us on the Entrepreneur Girlfriend Hour, along with our in-studio co-creators. That's all y'all, and so excited. We are Colorado's first transformational talk show where we activate, elevate, and transform. So those that are new to me, I've taken my 28 years of counseling experience, combined it with energy psychology, and then applied the principles of quantum physics to help us clear the blocks that are no longer serving us so that we can create and generate more in our life and our business. So today's episode was inspired to me. I woke up and I was like, wow, you know what? The last few episodes that the folks that have been joining us have been talking about this transformation of getting rid of the old and stepping into the new. And last episode we talked about was just shining your light and being able to get on video and being able to shine your light on that capacity. And then I realized for a lot of people, I'm going to demonstrate this here. Look at this. I am going to bring out a little demonstration. I feel it's like cooking with whatever. And this vase of ping pongs represents all of the things that we were told, the negativity, the criticisms, all the things that had a negative impact in our life. And I think sometimes we feel like we have to just get rid of them and we have to figure out how do we move through this, right? And yes, it is important to take a look at what are these things and what do they represent in our life and how did they get there? And also looking at the water, okay, representing the positive things, the juicy things in our life, the affirmations, the self-care, the positive things that are acquiring in our lives. And so as we pour this in here, a lot of times we're on this journey and we're doing the work, we're showing up, we're going to the conferences, we're doing the personal development, and we actually don't see results, right? And what I'm gonna share with you is that the more we keep being consistent with it, what happens when we're being consistent with that and surrounding ourselves with people, with situations that bring joy to us. Making a mess here. What happens is that we start taking out that negativity. And I want to pull out and say that some of it does not flow out. And we could do more and more work, but I want to show that just because we're doing the work doesn't mean that there's not going to be still things that show up that are going to be negative in our life. And I think when we look at changing the perspective on those things can have a huge game-changing experience, right? Goodness, I'm like the master of the switch of like, my daughter will come home and be like, oh my gosh, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, we can look at it this way, right? And I think over the last few years, especially when I went through that incredible dark time, I realized that some of this, the negativity, some of that was the gift that allowed me to grow, right? Does that make sense? And so I'm not gonna get rid of these, but I'm gonna allow for the more positive environments, people that I'm surrounding myself with, the comments, right? They always say, who was it? That Zig Ziglar, you become the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with, right? So who are you spending your time with? Are they building you up? Are they tearing you down? Is it time to get rid of them? Not meaning, was it time to spend less time with them? Is it time to evaluate how are you filling your life with more of the positive things in your life? So I want to open this up. Any thoughts or comments as we go through this?
I just left a job of 8 years that served me really well for about 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
And the last 2 years have sucked me dry.
And you stayed there, right?
And I stayed because I thought maybe it'll go back to the way it was. Maybe I'll continue to grow in the way that I was growing, but I'd hit my capacity at that place. And I, loved the people that I worked with. Yeah. Once I left and grieved for an entire week, I'm a different person today.
Yeah.
The possibilities have opened completely.
Yeah. And I love this because you just mentioned to me earlier that you're going to fill this space, the things that were like the negative things that were holding you back. You're starting to fill that space with what brings you joy, right? Mm-hmm. More of the speaking and more of the entertainment to help serve more people. That is the light, right? Mm-hmm. That is the light that's coming out, that is allowing ourselves to expose ourselves and share in our light, share in our joy, and finding the things that really bring us a lot more joy in our lives, right?
Exactly.
I think sometimes when we are, as entrepreneurs, are out there putting ourselves out there, and we have to be seen, like we were talking about last week or 2 weeks ago, we have to be seen. We have to put ourselves out there. And I think sometimes we, as women, have a hard time putting ourselves out there because this journey that you're taking is going to require you to be seen in a different way, to take up more space, to be vulnerable, to be real, right? Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes we don't do that, not because of, we don't put ourselves out there because of judgment, because of the fear of being goofy. I'm a pretty goofy person in general. If you've spent any significant time around me, you know this about me. And there's times that things will come out of my mouth and I'm like, oh my gosh, Teri, not the right, read the room, just read the room, not appropriate. And I find myself stepping into that more and more of just being myself and allowing myself just to be the light all the time without having to shrink or to fit into places that I don't belong in because of what was said to me or what the negativity was, and finding the people that can be playful and joke right along with me, right?
So I'm reading several books through this whole process and everything, and one of the things that I was reading today, which hits right on this and to you, is so those bad situations, those things that hit you and everything, congratulations. That just means that now you're on your path to success. It's like that refining fire, and it hits really true with what we're talking about today, in that, it's okay. Reframe those balls, reframe those stories that you have and put them in a different context, because that's every person who's been crazily successful has had many things they've had to walk through.
Yeah. And filling ourselves back up. Go ahead. Yeah, welcome.
Hi. I think for me, what makes me unique is that I've been in the darkness and in the valley, and that's where my intuition came in, and that's why I have a special skill set. So I can see when someone is broken, ready to burn it down, and that's when I can come in to extend a hand.
Yeah. That experience for yourself brought in and activated what needed to be activated within you, right? To be able to serve in a bigger capacity. Yes? I like it.
Oh. I think that's, Teri knows, and we have a collaboration called Queen's Day, and we'll let you guys know when the next one is. But essentially, Reigning Resilient Queens started off as just an anthology book, and it is 15 different women that came together to tell their stories of overcoming various different trauma to become the women that they are today. And I think, to Teri's point, we have to go through certain things almost, right? None of us are coming out of this life unscathed. We may look at somebody and say, oh, they're beautiful or rich or come from a great family, but you don't know, and you don't know their journey or their story until you actually get to know them. And so the whole thought process behind it, the book is called Reigning Resilient Queens, You Are Not Alone, because we're not. We just feel alone when we're going through those dark times. But those dark times really do help to refine us if we allow it. And then we find our people along the way, and we gather these people, and then we get rid of some of the other ones, right? That maybe weren't very great, but they were part of our story. And maybe they'll touch our hearts in some way that the ping pong balls, right, won't leave there. But there'll be something that we can tell someone else, and someone else can resonate with our story and go, oh, if she could, I can. And I think that's very important for us to speak and to come together and do things like this, because you never know. You really never know.
So I'm going to invite us to think about, is there something in your life right now that you are like, yep, I've been holding myself back. I'm ready to share. I'm ready to play bigger. I'm ready to be seen. And yet I'm still dancing that fine line of, am I ready? Am I ready to do this? What's coming up for people? I'm looking at you, Tanya. Is there something that's coming up for you?
It does. Sorry. Don't fire me.
No, you're good. You're good.
I think there's this space for a lot of women, especially women who are really dedicated to following their passion and their purpose. And I'm one of those people that, and I don't know if this is an ADHD thing or if it's just God bless me with a brain that allows me to organize a lot of different things very quickly and to learn quickly. But my passion is to help people. And so I'm gifted with all of these people and spaces and ideas and things. And I'll meet people and they'll say, oh, busy person. No, fluid, fruitful. And I get a lot of that. It's not busy. Busy people don't get anything done. I get things done. And so I'm constantly barraged with these comments or these perceptions or these beliefs that, wow, you're just doing so much. And I'm thinking, would you say that to a man?
Yeah.
Would you say that to somebody that you knew to be a $500,000, a millionaire? Would you say that to somebody who had a big old house and a really nice office? I've got all those things, but you still say it. You don't know me at all. I have a briefcase, a computer, and a purse. I'm not moving in. I have all that I need with me in the moment to get the work done. And how we reframe that and respectfully converse with people about your power is where I'm at.
Yeah.
Because I've dealt with that my whole life. And I'm in this space of getting to the next level where I'm not mad or crabby or judgmental when I get that from people. Because I've been there a lot. The ping pong balls.
I think, I for sure, and the judgment.
Yeah.
Is there anyone in here that wants to come up and play around just the judgment that people that we experience judgment from other people?
About it?
Yeah. So talking about just having people, there are going to be people that are going to judge us no matter what. We're going to be judged by what we wear, what we don't do. We can be judged literally for anything. And so if we're going to be judged, we might as well do what we want, right?
That's exactly where I'm at right now.
Just shine your light. It's so funny. Years ago, I was going into my daughter's, she was in middle school and we were going into like conferences. And I always dress up for work. And so I'm dressed up and I get home and I'm like, I better dress down. We're going to school. So I go down and I put on a pair of jeans, I change my blouse, and then I walk into the school. And there's a lady sitting on the park bench. And she's under her breath. She says, wow, she's very fancy. And I was like, girl. I was like, you have no idea. I'm dressed down. But it was funny that I had the thought to like purposefully dress down to go to this event, and then I received this judgment, right? And so we're going to be judged no matter what, right?
Yep. And I've had that several times too. I've got friends that I've known my entire life, and they're dear friends, and I love them to death. But they literally, can we get together? Fabulous. It's a friend date.
Yeah.
But I'm dressed down. That's the first thing they have out of their mouth. I'm dressed down. I'm in my workout clothes. Don't come all fancy. And I'm like, I have my workout clothes on too. I haven't done anything to my hair's in a ball cap.
Yeah.
I know, but you always look fancy. And I'm like, what is that? What is that?
And so what if you do look fancy? I think at this point, my friends, I have this group of girlfriends that I travel with through this organization, and I will never wear athletic wear unless I'm running, okay? Unless I'm working out. That's the only time you're gonna ever see it on me, okay? And so I brought my workout clothes and I was working out that weekend, but I didn't bring an extra outfit to come home. I didn't count the days right, whatever it was. And so I feel, for me, it's a frumpy feeling. So it's a feeling for me that I don't dress down, solely a feeling. And so these women, I was like, the last day I was like, I guess I'm gonna wear my athletic wear back home. And I'm sitting there and these women are coming up to me and they're like, oh my gosh. And they're like taking pictures. And I'm like, what the hell? We never see you like this. And I'm like, oh my goodness, right? Because that's just who I am. And so there is this element of just being you, and people will just be like, oh, she's just being you. She's just being her.
I constantly have to think my dad I'm the person I am today because of a lot of people, but my dad had so many nuggets of wisdom. He was just a master of so many trades and so many things in life, and a historian and a philosopher. and he just really that W.C. Fields, you can't, it's not W.C. Fields, somebody else, but he said you can't please everybody. The bottom line is you can't please everybody. There's going to be somebody every moment of the day that's not pleased with who you are, what you are, how you are.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's interesting. I often think about where do we lose that? Where do we lose that ability that we had as kids and young teenagers to say, I'm gonna whip the world with tiger by the tail.
Yeah.
And take things on and not let that worry me. Yeah, it's an interesting conundrum to be able to be somebody that has a goal or a plan or a purpose or a passion and have the world go, oh, that's a little too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yet,
Like the too much thing.
yeah.
Anyone else experience that? Feeling like too much? Okay, I see that. I see that. And we have the comedian in the front here, and she's like, yeah, I'm a little, yeah.
Aren't we all for somebody?
Yeah.
I think that's the conclusion I've come to.
Yeah.
We're all, especially when I launched all of these things, because I'm in that space of, I'm in a position that doesn't serve me, and I'm a loyalist, right, an institutionalist.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm staying until the bitter end. I'm that Gen X kid that I'm a skeptic, but I got those boomer things. You don't job hop, you don't job skip. And I'm in this position that I loved it, but man, I know that's not my end game. I'm not supposed to be there. And as I work through creating all of these companies, and they're all moving forward and chugging on and blossoming and blooming, people's eyes just glaze over. They're like, what do you do? I'm like, it's a consortium of companies. And they're like, yeah. So anyway.
Any thoughts on this? I know that at some point, like we took on what other people thought, right? And I think that starts on very early on. I can see my daughter at certain points, and when I was like, oh, okay, here it is. And I think part of this is that as children growing up, we, on average, kids will hear 10 negative comments to 1. And when you start to then, your brain actually starts to create neural pathways to support that. We have the reticular activation system coming in and looking for evidence to support that. And so like this water that we were pouring in here, it's creating those neural pathways. It's no longer allowing ourselves to continue down that story. And it takes a conscious effort to do that, because it's okay, I can continue. It's like on the little pathways, like the little single tracks. Down in Cherry Creek, there's a little cute little single track, right? And over time, people walked on it so much that it created a path. Mother Nature, it was going against Mother Nature. Mother Nature wants to grow grass there, right? But it had been used so long that it created a path. Now, if people stopped using that path, what would Mother Nature do? Just grow back, right? And so same to this, it's like, all right, I'm no longer giving, okay, great, you've shown me who you are, fantastic. Okay, here we are, we're moving on, right? I like, one of the things that I like to do, so for those that have not written this down or not followed this, is I like to say really quickly, I say, does this belong to me? And I'll get a sense, and you can either sense it, you can muscle test it, you can just tap into your own intuition. 99.9% of the time, it's gonna be a no. So I say, return to Cinder with consciousness. It's not mine. One time I was saying, it's like, it's schmutz off. It's not mine. I'm not going to take it. So return to Cinder with consciousness. You don't have to take it on. And I think then we're like continuing to put in there the yummy, juicy things and having our brain work the neural pathway to that new reality, that new desired path, versus constantly going back to the old path that no longer serve us.
And I think it's interesting you say that, because I think about it from that directive, right? The neural pathways and then the 10 to 1. I'm in education in it for over 30 years in K-21 education, but it never snapped for me. That's not, is this about you or is this about me? And I can teach it all day long. I can do leadership, all of that. But when it's directed right at you, there's this nervous system thing that fight or flight, right? So what I've had to start doing and learning, and this, it just took me reading so much for this piece to resonate with me, when somebody comes at me with one of those comments, and I go, thank you. That tells me you're not on this journey with me.
Yeah.
You're
you
not.
Say that? You say that? Out loud?
Oh yeah. You're not on this journey with me, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But I sure am here doing all this, these things that I think are good things for myself, for the world.
Yeah.
But you're not on that journey, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But thanks for the observation.
Yeah.
That's your perspective. My perspective is it wouldn't have come and rolled my way if it wasn't supposed to be in my window of the view. But that is not trying to be rude, not trying to be mean, but you're not on this journey with me.
Yeah.
Thank you, though.
Yeah.
I love you. You're one of my dearest friends.
Yeah.
And we'll have a barbecue next weekend. but you don't have to be on this journey with me.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
We'll talk
Yeah.
about something else then.
Yeah. My two favorite words are, one of them is if someone comes at me with something, I'll be like, wow. And that's what I say. I just say, wow.
That's
And I walk away.
And I say
in my head, I'm like rolling my eyes. I'm like, ah, and I'm saying some other things, right? Or the other one is I will recognize if it's been very hurtful. I will say, ouch. Like, that hurt, but I do acknowledge that that's a shitty thing to say.
And I've had to really look at, because I come off extremely, I don't want to say aggressive. I don't think that's the word.
How many entrepreneurs in this room or tuning in has been told that something like that, or to that extent?
Or you intimidate me.
That's what I get all the time.
I'm
That's
not
what I get to,
intimidating.
and I'm like,
You're
what?
intimidated by me,
Yeah,
but I'm not
yeah.
intimidating.
Yeah.
But the one thing I will tell people, I'll go, oh, that's interesting. Can you explain that more? It's right back on you.
Yeah.
I'm so done, and it's really
Having to
come.
explain myself.
Yeah, this last 30 days, and so I came across that in a book because I love to read, and it was, that's interesting. Can you explain that a little more to me?
Yeah.
Because then they either go, oh, well, I just obviously underestimated, which
Yeah.
I really kind of despise, because I try not to do that
Yeah.
to anybody.
Yeah.
You can't judge a book by their cover.
cover, yeah.
Anybody. We're all going to have horrendously trashy, vomity, sick, nasty, terrible, grumpy days.
Yeah.
And we're all going to have days where we're on top of the world.
Yeah, exactly.
And who are we to look at someone else and say, yeah, you're probably
Yeah.
always going to be stuck there.
Yeah, exactly.
And
yeah.
that's what they're doing to you.
Oh, yeah.
Is, oh, yeah, you're not really capable of that.
Yeah.
You're always going to be stuck there.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah, I know. If we could come from a place of non-judgment and use discernment,
Love.
we could cure the world. I think,
love.
and just having love. I really do think that those three things, we could cure the world. But we do get judgy, and we do judge other people. So, if as much as we can minimize judging other people, which is really hard to do. When we think about it, because if we even with positive judgments, we're judging someone, right? And so coming from a neutrality is really, it is a skill set to master, coming from a non-judgment place.
And I think to get out of that fight or fight or that vagal nerve piece, I've gotten to this point where I'm wanting feedback. That's interesting. Can you expand upon that? I'm really wanting some feedback as to why you think
Yeah,
what you just said.
yeah,
Maybe they look at me and go, there was that time you were down to your last $10, and so what do you think you're going to do with money?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
okay,
a
okay,
good point.
yeah.
I probably didn't tell you about when I paid
yeah.
$1 million off and owned $1 million business.
Yeah, yeah.
You probably didn't know that part. Not that I want to explain it or
Yeah.
justify it, and I may
Yeah.
or may not, but I kind of want that feedback too. What is it that's going on in your head that'll help me understand you're probably not on this journey with me?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I had this experience where I had an individual that would not talk to me because she was so intimidated by me. And so we had this conversation, and she's like, "You're a goofball." And I'm like, "Yeah, I am." And she's like, "Oh my God." And right then her barriers went down, and we created a really great friendship. But she wouldn't approach me because she had her stories were impacting how she was interacting with me.
I've had a few people come at me and be really upset or really angry about something when it comes to business or my beliefs or my perspectives or how I work. And I had an epiphany with somebody one time, and I said, "You just seem really angry." And this is a neutral conversation. And she goes, "I don't understand how you can like X, Y, Z." And it hit me. You want me to like something the way you don't like something.
Yeah.
It was an epiphany for me. And I said, "Oh, you want me to hate this, that, and the other."
Yeah.
I can't hate anything I don't actually know about or really know, or a person or a thing. I don't really know about it. But I can't hate what I don't know.
Or
Not to
experience,
mention I
yeah.
don't really hate anything.
Yeah.
I don't like certain behaviors. I don't like mean people. I don't like judgy people, right? But then I constantly have to look at this other person and say, who are you inside? It hurts. It's like somebody told me about a scab one time in
100%,
education.
yeah.
The bigger the scab, the bigger the wound.
Yeah.
And man, that was a really
And
great.
if you've not done your work, that will
Your scab, and
that comes out.
and then you're covering something really ugly.
Yeah.
Is covering this wound that nobody's probably ever paid attention to or has
And
ever
if-
healed.
and in defense, a lot of times this is unconscious. So
Yeah.
I give massive grace when there's a situation that's okay. There's probably other stuff that I don't know is happening for this person or this individual. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I often find, because I like asking questions too, but I often find that usually people don't really tend to be as off-putting as they might be coming off. And yeah, maybe they just had a crappy day. And
At Shirley Show?
yeah, at a Shirley show. But like you said, like a lot of times we interpret what's being shared through our own lens.
Yes.
And our internal itty bitty shitty committee is the
Yeah.
worst critic we ever will face.
Yeah,
Why
So
I
we
want
can-
that feedback.
Yeah.
Am I filtering this poorly?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think a lot
That's
of
my
times it's a
responsibility.
lot more graceful than we realize.
Yeah.
It's more our own filter that's making it sound so awful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And even just in my experiences with people, because I could have, and I don't know, I know in entrepreneur world, let's be fair, okay? This happens a lot, okay? I'm out talking, oh my gosh, did you hear about Julia? And then, oh my gosh, I don't really care for her. Yeah, I had this, let me tell you my experience, right? And then you share this negative experience, right? And what I have found is that, same to your point, is like I don't have to jump on this bandwagon because I can be like, oh, you know what? I actually know Julia pretty well, and I'm sure she's had bad days. I'm not saying that she hasn't, and that sounds like that experience. I just had that experience just yesterday where this lady and I are like connecting, and she's like, this company, which I know this company really well, and I've known them for 7 years, and I'm like, so I'm treading lightly, but I'm like, you know what? My experience has been this because that's my experience, right? And so I'm not going to not like this company just because somebody else had a negative experience, because who knows? Personality clashes, there's a million things. And by the way, Julia, you're amazing. But I do think as entrepreneurs, we do that. Yeah. So stop it. Stop it. Have you guys seen that movie? Have you seen, oh my gosh, what is his name?
Therapist.
Hart. What is his?
Newhart.
Bob
Bob
Newhart.
Newhart,
Bob Newhart, and he's like, "Stop it! Oh my gosh, if you have not seen that, you've got to
It's
go watch
great.
it. It's so great.
Just
Like,
stop
just
it.
stop it. Just stop it.
It is great.
Oh my gosh, I love it. It's 5 minutes. Like, just stop it. Stop it. Just stop it. I love it.
Two things. One, I did have an experience a couple weeks ago where somebody was telling me they had a really great experience with somebody I have not had a great experience with.
Yeah.
And so they're talking to me and they're like, you've got to connect and this and that. And I said, my experience has been that they are not in alignment right now with me and
That's
where
beautiful.
I'm at. I am
beautiful.
so grateful that you are having a great experience with this person, and I hope that you continue to have a great experience with this
Yeah.
person. But as of this moment in my life, we are not aligned. And that
I
was
like
how I
it.
left
That's a
it.
beautiful way of saying that, because you don't have to smash talk. You don't have to, and let them have that experience. And good on them, right? Because
If she
there's
wouldn't
certain
have said,
people-
you've got to meet them,
Yeah.
then I wouldn't have said anything.
Yeah.
I would have just said, great. But when she said that, I was like, I
Yeah,
have
for
to
sure.
set my boundary. But it's not my place to ruin
Yeah.
that experience for that person. Unless the only way I will ever say, you need to stay away from this person, and this is the reputation that I have. If I say, please stay away from a person, it's because they are incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
the only
Yeah.
way I will say. But otherwise,
Yeah.
have your experience. That's great.
I had this experience with this individual in the community, and I had a good experience. And then he kept name dropping all these names, and so I was like, so I'm gonna go check out the names that he just dropped, right? And I just called every person, and they're just like, run, run, run. And I'm like, and they're like, but he's gonna hit on you, and he's gonna make you feel uncomfortable. And I was like, well, I'm married, and I'm like, he's like, it doesn't matter. And I was like, but it was one of those things that was like when safety was involved, and it was like consistent with whether it was a married woman or a single woman. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna listen to that. I'm gonna listen to that.
Yeah,
Feedback,
and that's the
you know.
only time. And I know I
But
have
when
that
safety comes
reputation.
in,
When
yeah.
somebody, when I had somebody tell me, "Oh, if you say stay away from that person, then they must not be good at all," and I'm like, "Yes." So that was my
Yeah.
one thing. And then the other thing I wanted to say a little bit ago is, you actually really inspired me going up there. And when you spoke earlier, I do more than what I mentioned here, and Teri knows that. And I tend to downplay a lot of things for myself.
Same.
Because I am a lot. And I'm also tall, and I take up a lot of space, physically
hear ya.
and personality wise. So I'll tend to try to minimize whatever it is. But then when you were I was like, oh man, she's somebody I need to know. You're doing it.
And I look at you and I just think glorious. The first word that comes to my mind is glorious. How do you not walk into a room and everybody just go, whoa, the sun's come inside? And
And part of that is learning to own that. And I don't care. One of the gentlemen that's working with me right now, he's younger. My son's almost 30. And he is my son's best friend from the time they were 4. They're now in their late 20s. And we're doing a lot together with these businesses. It's very inspiring. And that was one of the things that he talked about is, man, you've got to work on that.
Space.
Yeah, he goes, you are this human that deserves to walk into a room and be that, the glorious. He goes, because right here you are, and I'm sure you are in the rooms you've been in and things you've done in your life. And he goes, but you've got a self-respect, self-love, self-issue, because he goes, you should be able to walk into a room and say all those things and not give one moment's thought to who's going to care, good, bad, or ugly. Because that's who you are. Yeah. That's who God made you to be.
Yeah.
Don't dumb it down for people. And to hear a 27-year-old schooling a 55-year-old who I taught, all of his friends and him, but he's my equal. Yeah. And he's a genius. He's just a budding world changer. And it was so awesome. I learned as much from him as I know he's learning from me and has learned from me. But I tell you, and I vowed the day we had that conversation last week, I'm going to have to shift how I speak, how I think about myself. And we're doing book studies together. We dedicate a half hour a week to a book study. And the first thing we're digging into is imposter syndrome because he's brilliant. He's brilliant and he owns it. Yeah. He's very well-rounded. And we talk both a lot about that whole, where do you shrink yourself? Where do you feel like, I can't be in this room? Or I'm not able to be part of this conversation. My bank account doesn't look like your bank account. My face and clothes don't look like your face and clothes. Yeah. My job doesn't sound as awesome as your job. And he goes, none of that should be happening. Yeah. Why are we like this? Yeah. And so for us to dig in this together, he's a male, I'm a female. He's young, I'm older. I'm the professional, he's the hustler. Yeah. Because he's a brilliant sales strategist. He does NLP like he's understood it for 50 years. And and for me to sit and talk with somebody who goes, oh yeah, he goes, I know you know what you've done and what you can do. Yeah. Because man, there's that piece of you that still kind of reeks. It spills out, and people can see it. Yeah. And he goes, they've got to really know you. He goes, but I think people intuitively know you. You're wondering, should I be in the room right now? Yeah. And he goes, and when you own it. But man, the instant you know you don't. You don't, yeah. And you got to work on that. And it was great to hear. It's weird to say, it was great to hear that feedback. Yeah. Because it changed honestly, I think it's going to change the rest of my life. Yeah.
Well, you're right. We've got to take up space. And I always joke, and I know that you've heard me all say I'm 5'2" in real life, but I identify as 5'7" because I want to take up big space. And so what I tell people when I'm working with clients, I tell them, I want to experience your energy. Some of you know that I have a learning disability, and it has challenged me in my life. And I'm like, it is what it is. This is who I am. Where was I going with that? Challenged by that, but where was I going with that? It's just being challenged by that, and it's taking up that space. And I'm like, either people are going to like me or not going to like me.
I'm always looking for what is the strategy before I enter that space where I know I'm going to the lion's den. I know I'm going to have negative Nellies and Debbie Downers and Doug Downers. Yeah. What are the strategies that you guys are using to get yourself ready for that? Not to necessarily psych yourself up, but to say, I'm absolutely the one that also belongs here. Yeah.
Because I think that's a great point. We're going to come back to that one because I think that's really super great.
I want to hear that today.
When we go into the room, it's about the energy. I always would tell people when I was like, oh my gosh, I'm challenged by language, right? And I'm like, oh my gosh, language is not my first language. And when people would say, what does that mean? And I'm like, oh, because I've been challenged by language so much, it's energy. Our first language, if you think about it, as a child, is energy. Right? We are interacting with the world. And you and I know when we go into those rooms, who do we attract to? Who do we not? Who do we avoid? So it's that energy that we exude. And so why not take up our space? And why not be the light? Why not be the entertainer? When I go to networking events, I feel like for me personally, networking events are more for social. I'm not looking for clients there. I'm there to serve, to give, and to entertain. That is like that's what I do, right? Because I know that purpose is not for me to lead gen. I do that in other ways, but I know that I'm going to be a light. I'm going to be a bright entertainment joy. So when people come in contact with me, they're going to hopefully experience laughter, right? This last weekend we were like laughing so hard. I'm like, and she goes like, oh my gosh, thank you for the laughter today. And I was like, yes, that laughter, that is just this powerful energy that we get to help co-create, which is very powerful.
Friends don't let friends shop for health insurance alone, especially online with a bottle of wine. Skip the spammy calls, endless emails, confusing options. We've got you covered, literally. I'm Deb Salmons with Imagine Choice Customized Health Solutions. No more guesswork. We shop for best plans for you with lower rates the healthier you are. We personalize your plans with confidential information and it's hassle-free. Let us take the stress off your plate so you can focus on what matters most. Imagine Choice Health Insurance with a human touch.
When we took a quick break, I realized that there was some other stuff that's coming up in the room. So let's play with this. How many, by a show of hands, how many have experienced self-judgment or currently actively self-judging, right? The whole room has raised their hands, right? Dana said it's probably the better question is ask who hasn't, right? But you're right, we are these incredible human beings, and it's our nature to judge. It is our nature to doubt ourselves, doubt our abilities, and especially for those that are doing things for the very first time. I keep thinking about the story when we're starting to ride that tricycle, and we fall down and we get back up and we don't say, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna do this again. We're like, okay, we're gonna try it again, 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 until we master it, right? Now, some of y'all are going out there playing golf for the very first time thinking that you're Tiger Woods. And you're not, okay? You're just not, I'm just kidding. And I love this, I just saw this on video the other day and it talked about just being willing for the cringe phase, the cringe stage, right? And I'm like, yes, anytime we're doing things, there's going to be a cringe phase where you're like, oh my gosh, did I really just say that? Did I really just do that? Oh my gosh, really? Again? And so being open to the cringe phase, right? So let's do this. Are you willing to come up and play?
Sure.
So those that are new to me, that are brand new to this room or to this, a lot of the content gets created in the room, and a lot of times we'll do some fun energy clearings. And so I've combined my energy psychology with emotional freedom technique. There's lots of different things that I've collected over the last 30 years of just doing my own personal development, personal work. I tap a lot into my intuition. Oh yes, please. I tap a lot into my own intuition, and we get to play. So I'll incorporate some energy work, and as long as you're just willing to play along, please. Okay? I will tell people usually the side effects to when we do this is one is crying. Crying is normal, healthy, and a part of it, and people are yawning. So you're gonna see me yawning, and because I'm yawning, you're gonna probably wanna yawn, and then everyone's gonna wanna yawn, okay? So cool. Yeah. We're in this together. Yeah. When you think about the self-judgment, what comes up for you?
That I don't know what I'm doing. Who am I?
Okay, how many of you, who am I? I think a lot of us on this journey have been called to greater and greater awarenesses. Okay, I'm here to do something really great. I'm here to do something badass. And yet, no one gave me the permission slip to do so, or no one, who am I to be doing this, and who am I to be playing at this level, right? Especially if you did not have that experience growing up. I know for me, I did not have that experience. My role models were not until much later in life, until finding my role models like, oh yeah, oh, if they could do it. I remember this guy, this teacher, I think I've said this story in here before, but I will just say this. There was a teacher, and he was just not all with it. Not all the crayons were in the crayon box, okay? They weren't sharp, right? Or whatever the sayings are. And I remember going, oh my gosh, if he can do this, if he can go and get a bachelor's degree and he has a career and he's in front of people teaching people, I can do it. And so I would find evidence like this. I'm like, what? Oh, okay, if they can do it, I can do it too, right? So that might be just a little tip of like, find the people that are like, they're doing it. And you're like, how are they doing this? How are they doing this? Okay. Because it acts in the opposite, right? It provides you the evidence. It's like, okay, I got this. I can do this. Okay, so who am I? Anything else that comes up for you?
when it actually, I feel that it's happening for me, then it then shows up like, who are you? You think you're gifted? You think God is just talking to you? You think you can change the world? Like,
Yeah.
so it's still
Yeah, I
like,
can.
who am I from even the start to even the successes of it? And then I'll find a way to then, I don't want to say self-sabotage, but go down that road, and then I come from deficiency as
Yeah.
opposed to through abundance through
Okay.
it.
All right. I think a lot of people can relate to you on this. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you tap right here, and everyone can tap along with us if you want to, and everyone set the intention for yourself for what you get to receive. Now I'm going to go with her, but this can be applicable to all of us, okay? So we'll get, it's called borrow benefits for all of us doing this together. And then it becomes like a really powerful energy in the room, okay? So I want you to think about, before we start here, let me stop you for a second. I want you to close your eyes for a second. I want you to think about, is there a moment or a time when you felt really, just like really intense self-judgment? On a scale from 0 to 10, 10 being the worst and 0 being none at all.
This morning about 8 a.m.
Perfect. I love it. Okay, was there something in particular with that experience?
I looked at my bank account.
Okay. Okay. How many of you use a bank account as a judgment, right? For sure. 100%. You'll have to check out some of our other episodes. We've done a couple specifically with money as well. So I want you to do this. So even though I looked at my bank account and I'm thinking, what am I doing?
What am I doing?
I am being drawn to this path,
I'm being drawn to this path,
and yet the money is not showing up.
and yet the money is.
And I have to make the bills. I have to pay the bills, Teri.
I still have to pay the bills.
I deeply and completely
I deeply and completely
love and accept myself,
love and accept myself.
even though
Even though
I'm so hard on myself.
I'm so hard on myself.
I've been constantly doubting myself
I'm constantly doubting myself
in my ability of doing this,
and my ability of doing this.
even though
Even though
I feel called to do this.
I'm being called to do this.
I am not trusting myself.
I am not trusting
I
myself.
feel like I got some Bambi legs going on here.
I feel like I got some damage.
They're kind of loosey-goosey. I deeply and completely
I deeply and completely
love and accept myself.
love and accept
Now, I didn't have you rate that before. What were you at before? You said what number did you say?
Oh, when this morning my
Yeah.
self-judgment and 10 being out the window?
Yeah. Yeah, and 0 being none.
Like a good 8.5, 9.
Okay, perfect. Okay. And now I'm gonna have you tap at the top of your head like this. So even though
Even though
I've been so good at judging myself
I'm so good at judging myself
and beating myself up,
and beating myself up,
I'm just like, I've really mastered this, Teri.
I'm really mastered.
And I'm not sure that I really want to get rid of this
I'm not sure I want to get rid of
because
it.
I'm like nailing it.
I'm like, now
And I'm living the dream.
I'm living the dream.
What if
What if
there could be a different way?
there could be a different way?
Side of the arm. What if
What if
I didn't have to judge myself
judge myself?
in order for myself to fight against myself?
What if for myself?
What if I didn't have to fight against myself?
I'd be bored. I'd be
Oh, would you be bored? Okay.
bored.
So I'm going to say this part. Any and all places that you would feel like you'd be bored times, and I'll say this part. So any and all places that you feel like you would be bored times a billion, gazillion, bug, gazillion, bug, gazillion, bug, gazillion, bug, gazillion, bug, gazillion, bug, gazillion, top of the first finger right here. Are you willing to revoke, recut, destroy, and uncreate that? Take a breath in and out. Right or wrong, good and bad, pocket by Schwartz, boys and beyonds. Anywhere that you feel like it would be too easy, or that you would make it too easy on yourself. Are you willing to revoke, recant, destroy, and incur that? Take a breath in and out. Right or wrong, good and bad, pocket by Schwartz, boys and beyonds. And let's do this. Anywhere that you have made it to be a struggle, like you've got to make it a struggle. It has to be hard. It has to be all the things. Are you willing to take a breath in and out? Right or wrong, good or bad, pocket by Schwartz, boys and beyonds. Top of the back of the hand between your finger and ring, right here. Tap on the back of your hand between your pinky and ring finger right here. So I want you to go ahead, and this is where it gets really weird, okay? Okay, this is where you drink the juice, okay? Just kidding. So I want you to close your eyes. Now I want you to open your eyes. And now I want you to look hard down left without moving your head. Now I want you to look hard down right without moving your head. Now eyes in a circle, other direction. Hum 5 seconds of twinkle, twinkle. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. and then count. 5 seconds of twinkle, twinkle. Now what we're doing there is just doing the bilateral movement of the brain. I'm not going to go into it today, but check out one of our other episodes where we go into what we're doing actually in the brain is helping break up the patterns of those neurons that are firing at the same time in the same place. And now it's giving some new space to create some new programming, okay? So I want you to close your eyes for a second. Everyone else, I want you to do the same. And I want you to close back and think about that experience this morning, about that judgment, that self-judgment that you had and the self-doubt. Where would you put yourself on that scale from 0 to 10? Did it get better, worse, or say this for real? Like, like, what? Like, it's like 0? Like, it's gone? Holy buckets galore. Like, I'm telling you, like, you're a fast clear. You've done work. She's done work on herself, folks, because that doesn't really usually.
Vibrating like crazy.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh, my. I'm just kidding. That's so exciting, right? Okay. And obviously, the energy in your hands now. Whoop, I love it. It's super.
Static ball, give it to me right here.
I love it. I love it. Okay, let's just do this because that like rarely happens, folks. That rarely happens. Like this, like, okay, unicorn right here. Oh my gosh, I love it because now you get to go play. Like, I love it. Right? Okay, so now let's put this in. What is it that you're going to choose to pour the water into the new system? Right? What is it that you would like to speak life into?
That it is possible, and I'm being guided and trusted.
Yeah.
I have the faith and trust.
Yes. Okay. So let's just do this. Even though I haven't been trusting myself, and I've not been trusting in my higher self, God, spirit, angels, whatever you believe in, put in there. I choose to know that I can be safe in trusting this journey, even down to my bank account. Because I'm telling you, I've been there when my bank account was like, how are we gonna do this? And then it's like instant magic that happens or something. It's like, hey, I just want to hire you for this, or did you do this? And it's like, boom, right there, right? And I always tell people, the more you guys, this is a nugget, the more you start to say, it doesn't take much, it really does not take much. We've been trained and ingrained that we have to be in therapy for 29 years and I'm dead serious. We've been trained that it has to be hard, that it has to be, and if we just make the choice, you know what, show me. Can it be that easy? And what will happen is the brain will start showing you the information if we're focusing on the water, pouring the water in, right?
And I don't know if ironically is the right word, but literally over the weekend I did an event, first event, and it was the best event ever.
Yes.
It was like
that you did?
Yeah,
That
best
was your
event ever. And I wouldn't allow myself to celebrate it. And then today I look, and it's the money's coming. It's sitting in the account, and I'm like,
Can't make this stuff up, folks.
it's like I
Just
just have to make a
receive it.
withdrawal, and my account goes up, and I'm just like, I looked at my account, and I
Yeah.
went down the spiral, and I caught myself before
It's
I
there.
caught myself. It's there.
It's there.
So where
You're
is
doing it.
the not allowing?
Yeah. So now we get to receive it, right? We get to be in allowance of receiving it because a lot of women, we are notorious about blocking. We put out their intentions, we put out the things, we do all the things, give, but we have a hard time receiving. And so now it's just like, think about it, like all the good deeds that we've done, all the yummy things, all the hard challenges that we've done, we've been putting in this escrow, and now the escrow is up there, it's ready to receive it. Now all we have to do is just, okay, turn the crank and just be in the receiving mode of it and just, okay, thank you, I'll take more of that. So write that down, thank you, I'll take more of that. Thank you, I'll take more of that. So when anyone pays you, when anyone speaks to you, whenever anyone does anything kind or nice or respectful or whatever, it says, thank you, I'll take more of that. And then you start to create this relationship with being able to speak it into existence and then receive it. And then the faster you get to be receiving, because women were notoriously, you know what, don't give this to me. Thank you, I love your outfit, I love your blah, blah, oh no, this old thing, but just receive it. I got it on sale. Yeah, but just say, thank you, I'm rocking this, I love this. And by the way, I got it on sale too. But receive that, just simply, like today, your homework for everyone is just to receive, start to receive. We have this escrow, we get to receive it now. And when we block it, we block that possibility. We block out that awareness that you just had of, oh my gosh, there's money. We just had an incredible. So let's just do this. even though I've been blocking my flow, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I've been trying to make it really hard so that I can be the victim. I know, wow, whoa, I slipped it right in there, woo! I was just waiting.
Up today.
I know. So that, what do you get out of being the victim?
Oh, then you can hide.
I can hide. I can hide. So I'm going to say this part, any and all places that you have chosen to hide because it's safer, because you don't have to be seen, because I can be the victim, because whatever else that has been making it really hard for you just to be fully taking up your space, stepping in your light, anywhere that is times a billion gazillion, the billion gazillion, bug. Are you willing to revoke, recant, destroy, and uncreate all that? Paper thin. And out. Right or wrong, good or bad, pocket watch, shorts, boys and beyonds. What would it take for me to trust? What would it take, even though I haven't been trusting, I choose to trust. I choose to open myself up to allowing, to receiving, to being, just being me. Simply being me in all my glory is what allows me to receive, it allows me to be seen, it allows me to walk this path, and it gives me permission to do the same for others. Right here, I choose to know that I can be safe in releasing anything that's not serving me today. I choose to forgive myself for anything that I have done that has not allowed me to receive. And I choose to forgive anyone else that for anything that they have done, either to me or for me or against me or behind my back or whatever they did out there. I choose to forgive them because that experience has helped me become the person that I am today. So any and everywhere that does not allow you to be in a place of receiving of your light and being the messenger of the light, right? What's happening on the planet right now, and go ahead and tap right here, is people are getting direct downloads. God, spirit, angels, whatever you believe in, is getting the complete downloads to be activated to fulfill our missions. And before we're like, okay, we're so trapped in like the gotta go to job or gotta go to work, take care of kids, homework, bedtime, work. We got trained to be in that place, and now things are starting to open up. Things are starting to wake up so that we can, as humans, tap back into our intuitive experience, our God-given nature, and what we're here to do on this planet, right? And you're just waking up to this, which I love is brilliant. So any and all places that is not allowing you just to be trusting of yourself and trusting this path that is being obviously laid out for you. Are you willing, anything that's not allowing that, are you willing to revoke, recant, destroy, and that? Take breath in. And out, right or wrong, good and bad, pocket shorts, boys and beyonds. And let's just do one more round as I speak life into me being me. I speak life into me serving in the way that I know how to serve. I speak life into what? What do you speak life into?
Source.
Love it. What about, what else? What are people speaking life into? Abundance.
Being all I can be.
Being all that I can be. Gratitude. Authenticity.
Attracting health, wealth, and peace.
Health, wealth, and peace. I love it. What are some other ones?
My spirit.
My spirit. I love it. Anything else?
Showing up as you.
Showing up as you. Anyone else want to share? Generosity. I love it. I love it. All of that times a billion godzillion, billion godzillion, billion godzillion. What would it take for me to step into my power? What would it take for me to step into my knowing? What would it take for me to step into trusting the process and trusting the path? So I choose to forgive myself for anything that I have done not to allow myself to be seen, to be heard, to be in alignment with my higher self, my higher purpose, and what I'm here to do. So anywhere that's not allowing that, times a billion, gazillion, bug, gazillion, bug, gazillion, bug, gazillion, bug, gazillion. Are you willing to revoke, recant, destroy, and anchor that? Take a breath in. And out. Right or wrong, good or bad, pocket by shorts, boys and beyonds. Let's shake that off. I love it. And let's see, I'm just going to pass around. That didn't come out of my magic coffee table, but it did come out of my magic jar. This is myrrh, which I love. It's like, I call it my love drug. It's like it's an essential oil that is just really, I feel like it connects us to our heart space. So I'm gonna pass this around. If you want to use some, you're welcome to. And I'm just gonna put some on here, and I'm just have you rub it in. And then I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna pass that around. It's not on all the way. And so I'm just gonna rub this in. And now I just want you to go into that heart space, and just take a moment for yourself. Everyone, I want you to take a moment. Oh, let me give everyone a second. I hope I'm not putting oil stains on me. And we're just gonna speak some life into. I just want to snuggle up with a warm blanket, and so snuggly. All right, so just take a moment. And if you want to put that on your heart space, just take a moment, and I'll have you privately give yourself a message right now. Give yourself a message of love, and what is it that you need to hear, see, hear, or feel right now in order for you to connect with this place and space. I'll just give everyone, thank you. I'll just give everyone a minute just to connect with that. And I don't know if you can feel that, but I feel the energy in my hands just like, can you feel that? Yummy. What I would like for everyone to play with, if you're willing to, is I want you to take up space. I want you to take up massive space. And one of the ways in which, I know you have a couple things that you do, but one of the things that I do is I will always protect my energy before going out, because a lot of people are schmutzing, and people are schmutzing real good these days, okay? I'm just saying. I will fall back into comedy. I will always fall back into, oh my gosh, this is gonna be so good. I can't wait to use this for something. This is such a good story. I can't wait to see how this ends, because it's gonna be so good. Oh my gosh, here we go. So I always take that approach to life. That's not always how I used to do it, but that's how I do it now. But just giving grace to people, because a lot of people are going through a lot of things. And the neat thing about it, and I've said this on here before, the mirror used to be over here, and people would be like, oh, am I gonna work on myself? Oh gosh, no, that's horrible, ugh. And what happened really like in 2019 is the mirror got moved here. And now we can't hide from our stuff anymore. And so everyone is doing their stuff. And so if we can just keep that in mind when things are just going awry, and you're like, I'm just gonna hold the space for this because this is gonna be good content. It's a great story, right? Instead of getting all our panties in a bundle with what's happening and making the stories up and being like all worked up about it and getting our nervous system all out of whack, it's just, okay, let's just take a deep breath and let's just, okay, hold the space here, right? So I will protect my energy, and you can do that lots of different ways. But then I expand my energy out. I expand it, and I'll just do this little quick exercise real quick just to help everyone expand their energy so that we can take up space, okay? And so what I do is once I ground my energy, I take my energy and I collect all my energy and I bring it from the crown chakra all the way down my body, down through my feet, down into the earth, and I ground my energy. And then I bring up a white light, bringing it back up to the bottoms of my feet, bringing it back up through my body. And then I expand that energy out in every single cell, activating every single cell of my being in my body, front, back, side to side, up, down. And then I expand that energy and I fill in, I just imagine that energy coming out of every pore of my body and being and filling up the entire room that I'm sitting in. And then I expand that out into the entire building that I'm in. Then I expand it out into the entire state that I'm in, front, back, side to side, up, back. I expand my energy out into the entire North America. I expand it out into the entire planet Earth, and I keep expanding it out into the Milky Way, expanding out into the entire billions and billions and billions of galaxies and even beyond that. So I'm really expanding myself in huge expansive ways. And then I just allow myself, and one of the things that I do that's really fun and just play with it, and I'm not going to tell you what happens because then I'll know if you did it or not. I like to pull energy from the universe, and I say I'm pulling masses and masses and amounts of energy from the universe to me and through me. And I just imagine it going to my heart space, coming back around, up and around my face, and then I just imagine sparklies coming down, helping me find more and more ways to achieve my desires. Now what happens is, I'm not going to tell you. Because when you play with it and you start to see it, you can do it at the grocery store. And so what happens is that person that you need to have that conversation with just shows up. That person that has, and it becomes pretty magical because it's like, oh, look at that. Look at that, that's pretty funny. And it becomes pretty magical just to play in that little, sometimes I was at this event, my daughter was playing softball this last weekend, and I'm smiling, just random smiling, and someone goes, what's happening? And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so good. It's just so good. If I explain it, it's not gonna really matter to you, but it's so good. Oh, it's so good. But, because they're not gonna get it. They're totally not gonna get what Teri's world. But it was so good. I was like, oh, there it is. You get to play in that, and that opens up those places of possibilities. That makes sense? So let's do this. I want to take a quick break just because of timing wise, but then I want to go back into what we talked about earlier, just some fun nuggets to help us expand that light, what you do, what you play with, what your go-tos, so we can share in here to really support each other.
I'm Karen Zipa, founder of Complete Business Accounting. We're not your typical accounting firm. At Complete Business Accounting, we partner with you to make sense of your numbers so you can grow with confidence. From strategic bookkeeping to fractional CFO support, we provide the structure, insight, and clarity your business needs to thrive. You don't start a business to be worried about your finances. And with Complete Business Accounting, you won't have to be. Let's move your business forward. Visit cbaccounting.net to get started.
Who wants to share? What are the things that you do to mentally prepare and get there? Okay, what are some tips or tricks or things that have been really powerful for you when you're going into events, when you're showing up and really taking up space? So I'm gonna start with you, Misha, and then we'll just bounce around.
I just visualize the best possible outcome that I can imagine, and just try to actually see that happening, and then go or something better.
I love it. So being intentional and giving yourself time, because I think oftentimes we are rushing around and we're not giving ourselves extra time. Now, I will always show up 10 or 15 minutes early to get myself in the right mindset. Before we do this show, everyone knows I go to my pond, but I do that intentionally to really take time for myself so that I can show up. So I'm not frazzled, so I can just be there supporting other people. It can be fun and entertaining and not have a million things in my head. So I love that, the intentionality, visualizing. Yes, love it. Okay, pop around. What's one of the things that you share? What's a good nugget?
Yeah, I like to feel my feet on the floor and ground myself. Take a deep breath so that my energy is inside my own body. Find someone to make eye contact with and talk louder than I want to and slower than I think I need to.
Okay, I know. And that's probably directed to me. I'm just kidding. So why is it speaking louder than usual?
Because usually people speak like they're speaking to somebody this close to them when they're as far away as Angela and Tanya.
Oh, yes. Okay. But if you're trying to speak to someone that far away, you're speaking louder.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
You have to make sure that you're reaching the people farthest away from you.
Okay.
That your energy and your voice, it's not just a voice, but it's both. Because sometimes people have the microphone, and I always recommend that you take the microphone if offered, always stand if you're asked to speak, and that you make sure that your voice and your energy is reaching the farthest away people.
Yes, I like it. Fantastic nugget. I like it. Who else wants to share?
What I do is I do a little mantra, which is I take the white light coming down from the heavens and I fill, surround, and protect myself.
Yes.
And it's a great little fill, surround, and protect, and then move forward.
Feel, surround, and protect. I love it. You got that nailed down.
I use the no matter what I step into saying that you taught me, and then I tell myself I'm a leader, and it's just talking.
Yeah, it's just
It
talking.
doesn't have to be anything more. We're just talking. No matter what I step into, what would it be like to receive,
know, be, and receive. All of me without judgment, perfect or not. No matter what, I step into what it would be like to perceive, know, and be, and receive all of me without judgment, perfect or not. I love it. That's a fun little piece of it. Yeah, I love it. You just get to step in and just to play big.
I think something I learned when I was younger and going into education, because I love science and medicine and all the things about learning, but I learned that we're nearly a physical impossibility. The fact that we're here is a physical impossibility. And so the historian in me and the person who loves to learn goes into every room. I'm so excited and anxious. I want to hear your story. There's no one will ever exist like you.
Yeah.
And I just go into that room thinking, I wonder what story I'm going to hear today.
Yeah.
I wonder who I'm going to meet.
And that's that curiosity, and it's, I love it. And
Who are
curiosity is the only emotion that lights up the entire brain when they do scans. And so if we can be in that place of curiosity, it's such a juicy place to live in and opens up for possibilities, for conversations.
Changed
and
my life so
and
much.
you just never know. There was a crazy experience that just happened to me about a month ago, and this person who got on to, I no longer do the podcast anymore, and I ended that 3 years ago, and somebody got onto this link that doesn't exist anymore because I don't even have the account to it. I still don't know how this happened. It's like magic. Anyway, so I see her coming onto my Zoom account, and I'm like, my system won't let me double book. And so I was like, okay, let me just pull this person in. And I was like, you know what, I don't do this anymore, but I'd love to connect with you, right? So we connected, and it's opened up so many doors, and we just became these really fast friends. So we just met again this week, and she's in Virginia. So you just never know what happens, but when you're staying curious, and I could have been like, oh, sorry, I don't do that anymore, bye-bye. Instead, I opened the door to it, right? And she just has now connected me to these amazing people because she used to live here. She's uber connected to the Denver peeps, and now she's introducing to me all these people that are just like killing it in their companies, right? And it just, you never know. So being playful and being curious, I joke that I have a 4-year-old brain, but because I'm always like, why? I was on this trip recently, and I was like asking this question to this guy, and then everyone, my husband and my daughter, they just give me the look like, why are you asking so many questions? Why don't you just? And I said, but in all fairness, he had a tattoo that said "why" on his wrist, and I'm like, and they're like, Mom, really? And I was like, yes. Were you observant to that? Anyways, so I didn't ask because I find with my family, I just am like, let me just do a couple questions, and then I'm like out, right? So, but if they weren't with me, I know it's always going to be like because it's probably why. Why are you getting that tattoo? I don't know. Why? I don't know. Anyways, but I love it. But maybe it's to ask the question why, right? Yeah. To dive deeper, to be curious. Yeah, I love it. Would you like to share, Dana? Mm-hmm. And you can come up here if you like, if you feel comfortable coming up here.
This actually might be like a Celtic thing, but if you don't have time, if you're going to an event or you're just in a rush or dealing with kids before you go, you can just do a quick little braid in your hair, and then that collects any of the negativity, and then you undo the braid when you get home.
Oh my gosh, I've never heard this
You're doing
before.
a ritual, you don't have your hair tied up, because that will hold any of the releasing. And then another one I do
love this. This is fascinating. I'm going to braid it up.
Yeah, you could do a mini braid on the top.
It's just going to like, boop. It's
just
going to be like
little.
Alfalfa.
And then another one that I like to do is just ask for a sign, but not something like obvious.
Yeah.
And so it's always been a hawk for me, or a blue butterfly, because there's a whole story behind it. But and I'll be driving somewhere, and then I'll see a hawk and be like, okay.
We're on the right path. I love it. I love it. I love asking for signs. There's a couple things that you can do in my daily intentions planners. I always have a little spot that I'm looking for something. Today I drew a little frog. So when it shows up, and all it is it's working the reticular activation system in your brain. And so it's something fun and playful, but it is a sign. And I love that. Oh my goodness, so juicy, so many nuggets. Keep pouring into yourself and notice what no longer fits. The person you desire to become is already in there. Just keep filling up the vase. Consistency is queen. Traveling to Colorado, be sure to reach out to get a seat right here in the live studio action. Thank you so much for being part of the Entrepreneur Girlfriend Hour. And as always, be bold, be brave, be fearless, be the magic of you. Massive love, and we'll see you on the next episode.